local election tour. Live from Norwich in the county of Norfolk. Please welcome political commentator and broadcaster, Charlie Rowley.
I know it's a Tuesday, there we go, and you can do better than that. Good evening, Norfolk! Oh, hello and welcome to the Reform UK Local Election Tour 2026! Oh, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic night, folks. Reform UK's We Will Fix It tour has been all over the country. We've been to the Isle of Wight, to Basingstoke, to Thurrock, to Surrey, to Sussex, to Sunderland, to Milton Keynes, to Swindon, to Leeds and Hull, and tonight we are here in the city of Norwich. Are you ready for a good night? Well, what a lineup we have for you this evening. To kick things off, it's your chairman of Reform UK, Dr. David Ball is in the house. Yes, and David will be followed by your Shadow Chancellor of Reform UK, Robert Jenrick is here. And I think that's about it. Do you think I'm missing someone? Yeah. Am I missing someone? Who do you think?
Mr. Farage.
You're right. Concluding the show tonight. That was very good. The leader of Reform UK, Mr. Nigel Farage is in the building. But Tonight is all about you, members of the public that are here. Some people here for the very first time. They've never attended a political event before. We'll be talking to local residents, we'll be talking to members, and we'll be talking to candidates. So just to illustrate that point, anyone here who is a local candidate, put your hand up in the front row. Round of applause for your local candidates. Any paid-up members of Reform UK? Hands up. Oh, there's a fair few of you, yes. Round of applause for the members. Give yourselves a round of applause. And local residents, people who are not members of Reform UK, you've turned up this evening, you're local, you've got the information, you've turned up tonight. Put your hands up, local residents. Very good. Round of applause for our residents. So this is the part where I said it's all about you. It's audience participation time. It is my favourite part of the show. It's when everyone starts to relax. I think we'll start here if we can. I'll pivot round here. Now, we've got candidates in the front row. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. Most of my team are along the front row here. So.
Oh, you've got a full team.
Best house, best seat in the house, yeah.
And where are you standing and where are the team standing?
Phil was here, South Norfolk. And are we allowed to say where we're standing yet?
Oh,
unofficially.
Well, if you can't say it, don't worry, but you are definitely a candidate and
yes.
You're definitely standing for Reform UK. Your candidates, also?
Yes, I'm here. South Norfolk.
South Norfolk, very good, very good. I happen to say, I won't say too much, but I did see some paperwork going on in a few rows behind where candidates were still being signed up. If you do want to stand, actually, for Reform UK, there is a stand at the back there, I see. They'll take all your details later on. Thank you very much. Candidates in the front row here. We'll move on down. This is the part where they tell me to walk backwards, which I think is the general direction of my career. We'll stop here. 2 rosette wearing candidates.
Yes, I'm a candidate for Watton.
Watton and
Southwest Norfolk candidate.
Has anyone heard of those places in here? Yes, there we go. Support. Thank you very much for standing. We'll make our way down further and further towards a young candidate here. Hello.
Hello there.
What's your name and where are you standing?
My name is Jaden Liston. I'm standing in the division of Swaffham.
Swaffham, anyone? Now, you're obviously quite young, if you don't mind me saying.
I'm old, I'm 24.
Well, we'll have a debate about about that outside. But why, as a young person, do you want to get into politics? Why do you want to stand, in particular, for Reform UK?
Well, Charlie, for me as a young man, I feel...
Oh, we're on first name terms already. Very informal here.
I see where this country's heading, and this is our last Chancellor, and I cannot emphasise this enough to everyone that is here today. We need hope, and this is the only party that brings that.
Do we agree with that, folks? I think we do. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Lister. Follow me now. We'll go down the aisle here if we can. I'm making this camera team work incredibly hard this evening. Somebody determined to avoid eye contact with me. Story of my life. And I think we'll stop. We won't stop here. We might stop here if we can, sir. That's a very nice shirt you're wearing this evening.
You like this one?
I do.
Yeah.
We're not selling that at the back, I'm afraid. There is also the merchandise stand at the back for anybody that does want to wear some of those beautiful Reform UK football shirts. But you're wearing something slightly different. You're wearing something slightly different and very nice too.
Oh, that's it.
Are you a member of Reform UK?
I am indeed, yes.
And
South West Norfolk.
South West Norfolk. Why did you decide to become a member? So you're not a candidate, you're not a local resident, but you...
I want the country to be back as it was at one time.
Do we agree with that, though? Lots of people agree with that. I'm being told I've got to move on. I saw a nice couple actually here, I think, earlier on. They caught my eye. They were waving at me in the way in which you could land a light aircraft. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
And why are you here this evening?
I just fear for where the country's heading, and I fear for my grandchildren's future.
Does everybody agree with that, folks? And are you members of Reform UK or just...
Not yet, but I probably will be tomorrow.
Oh, wow, there we go. What do we think of that? Very good, lovely to meet you. An equally very nice waistcoat, but I'm being told to move on. And we'll find somebody, I'm being told to go up the back. Now, hello people at the back here, give us a wave. Can we get them on camera? Fabulous, fabulous. Can I just come to you two, because again, you both look quite young, and I'd like to ask on a Tuesday night, you could be doing anything else, but you're here in Norwich.
I just like politics.
Sorry?
I just like politics, so I'm just here to watch.
Okay. Yeah. And what are you interested in hearing about tonight then? Is there anything in particular that you know?
Not really.
Not really? Just want to hear what the speakers have to say, and that could inform your opinion?
Yeah.
Either way. There we are. I gave you the answer.
Thank you.
One final person at the back here. Lovely lady, if you can hear me. Hello. Can I stop here? Hello. Don't be alarmed. I'm very nice.
Are you?
Well, yes, very modest. Are you a local resident, madam?
Yes.
You're not a member of Reform UK? Or?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay, so you're tempted.
So I might be.
You might be, okay. Why are you here tonight then? If you're just a local resident, what do you want to hear this evening?
I want to know more about what Reform is going to do. The future of the national health and inheritance tax, schools, whatever.
Okay. But you're obviously motivated to come out on a Tuesday night to a political rally. Too true.
Yes.
So you think, is there something wrong with the country? Is that why you're...
Definitely. Oh, it's gone to pot.
So does the slogan... well, lots of people agree with that, I heard. So my very final question, so the slogan, Reform slogan, they're taking it all across the country to say Reform will fix it. Do you think the country's broken and it needs fixing?
Yes, definitely, and I think Reform can do it. They just got to get on with it. We just need movement. Nothing's going, is it? Everything has stopped.
Everything stopped. Well, there you are. Well, let's hope the speakers tonight tip you over to the edge to become a member. So there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to all of my local residents, members and candidates. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, before the main show kicks off, we've got a wonderful interview now with two local councillors. One originally from Norwich that has moved to Durham and is now a county councillor in Durham. The other is a very, very local individual. You will know exactly who I'm talking about. Please give a warm Norwich welcome to my two interviewees, Tina Kendall and Scott Woodhouse. Okay. Hello, nice to see you both.
Hi.
Please,
How you doing, Charlie?
Very nice, very nice to see you. Give it up for my two interviewees, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Scott, can I start with you? Because I teed you up there by saying you were local to Norwich, but you've still got so many connections to Norwich, but you are a Durham County Councillor, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So I was born in Norwich, Helsden lad, went to school there. My family still live there, my sister still lives in Helsden, family lives in Munsley now, retired and enjoying the coastal life. And I joined the army and I settled up in County Durham. Now I was hoping that I was called to come back home and stand last season. Well, I say last season, but that's Norwich and Ipswich, isn't it? But unfortunately, the elections were cancelled, so my call wasn't. My family are happy for me to stay in Durham, so I think that was a blessing in disguise. And the biggest thing for me today to come down here was I've received some messages of people I went to school with asking me, is reform the answer to save our country and save our county? And the answer is yes. And the reason I say that for is, when you look at what we've done in County Durham, I come from a rural background, my granddad farmed in Durham. We've put in motions to protect our farmers. We're protecting produce. We're organising an event to introduce our farmers to our businesses so they can buy direct, so we can bring in money for them. We've also put in a motion recently to re-industrialise County Durham, to bring in cheaper energy prices. Some of them methods may work in Norfolk, so it's very important that we get them across and let everyone in Norfolk know that local policies can actually affect national policies and both the same. And protecting our farmers, and that's why I stood, was the most important for me. The rural communities are massively under attack at the minute. Just last week, another consultation has been hit on the rural communities, which will affect our rural economy by millions of pounds. So it's quite important we stand there.
So protecting rural communities, that's central to obviously what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And there is a huge connection between obviously the rural area in Durham, where you are now,
Yep.
and here in Norfolk. So the rural communities, protecting our farmers, that's obviously something that you've talked about very well there. But you also said about the local elections being cancelled. Now, to that woman's, lovely woman's point there a second ago, who talked about, just wanting to get on, that Britain is broken, it needs to be fixed, but people just need to get on and do it. You can't get on and do things if you don't actually have local elections taking place. So why are these local elections that obviously were hard fought for, hard won by Nigel Farage, these elections are now taking place? Why is that so important to local voters and local communities?
It's massive, and to be fair, what I want to say is a massive well done to all the branch managers, all the branch members and reform members in Norfolk, because when that election got cancelled, they've carried on campaigning. My dad phones me up every Sunday and says, I've seen them out in North Walsham, I've seen them out in Wroxham, they've worked hard for this. And the reason they've worked hard for it is because Norfolk needs a change. We've got British sugar, importing sugar cane, instead of giving our local farmers money for the sugar beet. We've got Lotus owned by Chinese now, making cars which used to be F1 winners. Now they just look like any other Chinese car. We're losing our identity as Norfolk. Coleman's mustard's gone. And Norfolk needs this identity back. We've got a train station, we've got an airport, we've got commuting routes. We can be massive in the UK economy, and we're losing that identity, and that's why we need reform.
Do we agree with that, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah. Well done. Well said.
Well, the importance there of the local elections being said loud and clear. But speaking of local, Tina,
Yes.
you are very local, aren't you?
I am,
You are
yes.
standing as a county councillor. Whereabouts?
In Marshall and South.
Marshall and South? Anybody here from Marshall and South? Both of you? Nice to see you both. But local politics and local government is really important. You've been a town councillor.
Yeah.
A district councillor.
I still am.
Still am. And you're running for county. So why are the local elections really important? But why is local government really important?
Local government at grassroots level is really important because you learn how the levels of government go up, and standing for each level gives you a bigger voice to get that out there and to represent the people, and to do it under the banner of reform is a privilege and an honour, because you're part of an army that wants change. You can have an army with bullets and guns that fight for your country. We're fighting for our country back. We want it back. We want it back to Britain.
Do we agree with that, ladies and gentlemen? And a lot of people agree with that in this hall, as you can...
That's why we're all here.
That's why, well, you're absolutely right. But you talked about obviously doing it under a reform banner. You won't mind me saying, and people will know that you used to be a Conservative, is that right?
Yes, I did. And I would say probably a lot of people here were as well. But we got disillusioned, totally disillusioned, by a constant revolving door of bad politics, from Conservative to Labour to Conservative to Labour. We now need change. We need something totally radically different, but something that is resonating with the public, with the normal people.
And final question then, I suppose. If I come knocking at your door, don't be alarmed. No reason to be. But or you come knocking at my door, rather, and you tell me why I should vote for reform, or why should I vote for Reform UK on the 7th of May? What is the message that you'll be taking to the people in your patch?
It's sense and sensibility. It's bringing normality back. It's have voice for the public, the people, the normal people, not the high echelons of society, not the bottom, the middle England. We're rising up. We want our country back. And that will help everybody.
And do you think that will be a message that's going from not just here in Norwich, but through to all the way up to Durham?
I think it is. You know, we are here. You know, the three words what draw me into the party: family, community, and country. Being a veteran, being a family man, and seeing our pubs and everything else going downhill, which are our community hubs, is an important key. And I think that's massively for reform and for everyone.
Very good. Well, do we agree with that, folks in the hall?
Thank you.
There we go. Well, thank you so much for joining me just to kick off our show here in Norfolk. Please, ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Scott Woodhouse and Tina Kiddell.
Thank you.
Now, before we throw to our next guest also, they have asked me not to do this, folks, but please, could we also just give a round of applause for our show team here with the set, everybody and the designers. This has been on tour for the last month. They've done an incredible job. It's everybody that works here and our security. Just a round of applause for them before we move on. That might also keep me employed for another month. Are you ready for our next speaker? Well, we talked about the membership earlier on, and there is one man driving the charge to up the membership of Reform UK. Please give a huge hand to your chairman of Reform UK, Dr. David Ball.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, a very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on the road for the last 9 months. Tonight I'm going home to Suffolk. I can't wait. But what I will tell you is that I probably am the closest to the ground as to what is going on in this great country of ours. And it doesn't really matter where I go. I can be in, say, Basingstoke or Swindon or Scotland or Wales or Norfolk. Everyone is saying exactly the same thing. This country is in dire straits. People do not recognise this country, and people across the country are coming up to me, and I'm not joking, in tears, saying, please do something, please save the United Kingdom, and that is exactly what Reform UK is going to do. Charlie, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Rowley. Well, a very good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen. I am so delighted to be back in East Anglia, of course, the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of the East Angles. Now, last week our Reform Roadshow was in my home county of Suffolk, and today we are in Norwich, in Norfolk, the home to the Norfolk. That's where its name comes from. Now, this city was founded in the late Saxon period. It grew rapidly because of its position on the River Wensum, connecting it to the North Sea via Great Yarmouth. Now, by the 11th century, it was one of the largest and also one of the most prosperous cities in England because of its dominance in the wool and cloth trade. And this year, the Sunday Times crowned Norwich the best place to live in the United Kingdom. Now, for me, of course, it's also known for being the home of Alan Partridge and a TV show. Now, this shows my age, actually. I was totally obsessed with when I was growing up. I don't know if any of you remember this. Sale of the Century, live from Norwich. Anyone remember that? Well, that dates me, doesn't it? Well, look, politically, there are two parliamentary constituencies here. They are Norwich North and Norwich South. Both of them are safe Labour seats. But I looked at the latest polling today. It shows the Labour vote here has completely collapsed. And Labour is set to lose both seats. And the latest polls... and I'm really proud of this. The latest polls show that Reform UK is on track to win Norwich North. I think that shows you something about what is going on in this great country. That, for me, is nothing short of extraordinary. But also, in addition to this, in just 37 days, all 84 seats on Norfolk County Council are up for election. Now, the Conservatives currently have control of the council, but if this polling is right, and with your help, I can tell you Reform UK can take control of Norfolk County Council, and we intend to do just that. It's so brilliant to see so many people here tonight. Some of you are supporters of the party. Some of you are members, but many of you have never had an affiliation with a political party. And some of you refuse to vote because you know you will be ignored. And I don't blame you. It is clear they do not care what people like you think. And that is why the whole blinking lot need to be booted out of office tomorrow. Now, instead of sitting back and watching the decline of this once great nation, Nigel, Richard Tice and I decided to do something about it. We founded Reform UK, wait for this, just 5 years ago. Only 5 years ago. And look at the wild journey we have been on. Now, the media and the political commentariat keep telling us, David, you've peaked. They told us that when we were at 2%. When I was deputy leader, they told us that when we were polling at 9%. And now, look at where we are. We are now polling at astonishing levels. We are way ahead of all the other parties. And you see, just to back that up with some facts, we are now the fastest growing political party in this country, and we are now the largest political party in this country. And also, since I've been chairman, we have gained 5,000 new members every single month of my tenure. We now have 8 members of parliament, and let me tell you, we are not stopping there. We have also led the last 250 opinion polls, and the latest polls, and this is the best bit, show we will win a thumping parliamentary majority, which is quite extraordinary, is it not? But the news just keeps getting better, because that also means we will kick out big Labour figures. So we will say goodbye to Rachel Reeves. Goodbye, Rachel. We will also say goodbye to Angela Rayner. Bye, Angela. And here's my favourite. We will also say goodbye to Mad Ed Miliband. All of you are gone, all of them will bite the dust. Now, look, I believe passionately that Reform UK is the last chance to save this country. I'm not alone in that sentiment, actually. As I said, I'm seeing people venting anger and frustration as I travel around this great United Kingdom. As I said, I've been on the road for the last 9 months. I've been doing my chairman's tour, our party conference, and rallies just like these. I have seen an extraordinary number of people, something like 20,000 people around the country. And that, around the country, the message really could not be clearer. I think it's fair to say this current government is the worst any of us have ever seen in our lifetimes. This government is directionless, it's rudderless, it's devoid of principles, it has no policies, and it lacks any kind of coherence. And I've been thinking about this. Why is that? And the reason is that great countries need a great leader. And what do we have? Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer now languishes with a net approval rating of -47. His approval rating is now so bad that at this point, the taxman, rail replacement buses, and even the BBC are more popular than the current Prime Minister. Now, this Labour government knows it is in seriously deep trouble. It's lashing out, clutching at straws. And they keep accusing Reform UK of wanting to privatise the NHS. You've heard that, haven't you, repeatedly? You're going to privatise the NHS. Well, I'm a medical doctor. I also happen to be the person who wrote our health policy, and let me tell you, it is a blatant lie. It smacks of desperation, and under a Reform UK government, the NHS will remain free at the point of need. I could not be clearer on that. But also remember, the Tories also betrayed your trust. They, the Tories, bankrupted the country, they implemented austerity, and they left us with open borders. Quite frankly, it was the Tories that broke Britain. So given the two main parties have abjectly failed this country, some people are turning to Ed Davey and the Lib Dems in desperation. And that is what I call desperation. So then that really only leaves Zach Polanski and the Green Party. Now, if you're in any doubt, I'm a doctor. I want to give you a clinical diagnosis. It's very complicated. Zach Polanski is utterly bonkers. On a serious note, let me be very clear with you. The Green Party is a major threat to British national security. They do not believe in borders or upholding the rule of law, and they will accelerate the insane net zero delusion. They do not believe in hard work, and what they want is a 4-day week for everyone. And I ask, who the heck is going to pay for that? They are a party more interested in Gaza than Great Britain. You cannot trust the Greens with your vote. So why should you back us? Well, when you vote for reform, you get reform. Just look at the difference we've made running councils already. In County Durham, Reform UK has scrapped stupid net zero schemes. We have saved tens of millions of pounds. In Derbyshire, Reform has cleared the pothole backlog we inherited. We took it from 17,000 down to 0 in our first 10 months. And in West Northamptonshire, Reform UK served notice on all 3 asylum hotels in the area, and we are determined to shut every single asylum hotel in this country permanently. But now we need your help. This is your chance to be part of our movement and to change British political history. We need people to stand for us at these elections in just over 5 weeks' time. So if you're up for the challenge, you can apply online via our website. I want to end by saying this. In 37 days, on May the 7th, this is your opportunity to vote. For far too long, people across this great country have been taken for granted, they have been ignored, and they have been let down. And this can end now. This is your chance to change your future. And the way to do that is to vote for Reform UK. Well, our first speaker tonight is a Reform UK councillor representing Thetford West on Norfolk County Council. He is also Reform UK's mayoral candidate for Suffolk and Norfolk. Now, that election should have been taking place on May the 7th, but the government is running scared, and shamefully, it has cancelled that election. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Bick.
Good evening, Norfolk. This appalling Labour government fails this country at almost every level. And Conservative-controlled Norfolk County Council fails the people of this great county at almost every level. And we now know that the concoction of the failed and failing Socialist and Tory parties, we now know as the Uni Party, no longer believe in democracy. Last year, the Uni Party cancelled the People's Due county elections. They also postponed the election for a new mayor of Norfolk and Suffolk. Utterly fake reasons were given, but we all knew the real reason. Labour and the Tories were going to lose, and they were going to lose big. And they tried to cancel the elections again this year. But they reckoned without reform and the party's successful legal strategy to ensure these elections would go ahead after all. Voters expect governing bodies to respect our democratic norms. They don't. Instead, it's failed to reform to save the day. As many of you campaign in these elections, don't forget to tell the voters that very thing. Despite the subversion of democracy, last year there were a small handful of by-elections, and I won one of these in Thetford, ending 12 years of hopeless Labour with a Reform vote share of 48%. My experience on Norfolk County Council has been an eye-opener. There is no debate worthy of the name. Virtually everything is done by set piece and prepared statements. There is no proper constitutional facility to question the abject answers we are given. It feels like being back in the old Soviet Union. And those of you who have seen County Hall building up close will know what I mean. To top it all off, we have had a council leader who is distinguished by her sheer arrogance and her own brand disregard for democracy. I would not be surprised on a poll if she emerged as the most unpopular council leader in this country. The people of Norfolk want no more of this. My election result just 10 months ago and several results since demonstrates the scale of the unique opportunity we have in our elections on the 7th of May to elect a reform administration in Norfolk. We can then start to put Norfolk back on the right track. The scale of the problems the Conservatives will leave behind them is substantial. They have racked up a debt of over £900 million and an interest bill of £650,000 a week. In just 10 years up to last year, they've increased council staff by a whopping 38% from 5,000 to over 7,000 personnel. Actually, that staff number could be 8,000. It depends on who you listen to at the council. In that same time, the population only grew 6%. So staff numbers up a staggering 38%, but our population only up 6%. It beggars belief. Note also that something like £1 in every 8 you pay in council tax goes on council officer pension contributions. And in the last year for which figures are available, payouts to just 8 departing officers, there was one redundancy by the way, averaged £136,000 per departing officer. So who do you think the council is being run for? It doesn't sound like it's us, the residents, does it? And despite the council now spending over £2 billion every year, have the services you received as taxpayers improved? I think we all know the answer to that. Reform will not make false promises. After a generation of broken promises, the people have had more than enough of that. But there is a lot that needs fixing, and we will start to apply the fix. We will be prudent. We will apply common sense to everything we do. We will serve the people, not them, us. So we say to you, legions of battling volunteers, campaign managers and candidates, winning this election is definitely there for the taking. Please get out there and win your seats. Thank you.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. Well done. Well, our next speaker caused quite a sensation in January of this year. Now, it all started when Kemi Badenoch panicked, thinking he was going to leave the Tory party and join Reform UK. So she took to social media to fire him in the most public way possible, trying to get the upper hand. Now, unfortunately for her, it all rather backfired. Now, he has been a Member of Parliament since 2014. He served as Housing Secretary between 2019 and 2021 and was one of the most successful of recent times. He later served as Immigration Minister, and he took a very principled stand, and he resigned over the failures of the last Tory government. He is now Reform UK's Shadow Chancellor. Let's see him in action.
We are the party of Alarm Clock Britain. We are a party of workers and not welfare. I sat around the cabinet table and I saw up close what government gets right and what it gets wrong. The recent succession of prime ministers in my old party and now in Labour lacked the vision for what we could do to arrest our national decline. They were defeatist, and each in turn they were defeated. The British people have been betrayed once again. They voted for change, and instead they just got more decline. They feel cheated, and they have every right to be. Reform has the drive to defeat that defeatism, the energy to lift the gloom, and the courage to take action where others have flinched to get Britain back to its best. Britain's economy is broken, but be in no doubt, it can be fixed. We can turn our country around, but it can only be done with reform.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome Robert Jenrick, Member of Parliament.
Well, good evening and thank you, Norfolk. What a tremendous crowd we have tonight. I can tell you, Reform is the only party in British politics that could organise an event like this. And I think you're here for the same reason that I joined Reform. That's that when we look around our country, we all feel the same thing. It's a bit of a mess right now. And we believe not only can Britain be turned around, but that reform, and one man in particular, Nigel Farage, will turn Britain around. But I have to confess, watching that very kind introduction from David, that there is one thing that I actually miss about the Conservative Party. And that is that you might remember I was the Shadow Justice Secretary. And that meant that I got to shadow one man in particular. Can anyone remember who that was? David Lammy. Now, before he was giving away the Chagos Islands as Foreign Secretary and ending our ancient right as English men and women to a jury trial, Lammy was once a contestant on... Yeah, I can tell you, you know what's coming. Celebrity Mastermind. David Lammy, Celebrity Mastermind. That is an offence under the Trade Descriptions Act. Now, it's been another big day. You're going to hear in a moment from Nigel Farage, but you may have seen that Nigel and I began the day at Heathrow Airport. And we were trying to marshal planes on the runway as we announced our plan to end Rachel Reeves's tax on families going away on holiday. Yeah, exactly. And I should say that it's not just Heathrow that's going to benefit from that. So Norwich Airport will be a big winner of that as well. And all the jobs that are based in Norwich in airlines as well, because I know there's a lot of those. But I have to say that marshalling is much harder than it looks. The guys that we spoke to at Heathrow said that they tried to get Keir Starmer to do it. But they said that the only action that he was capable of performing was a U-turn. How many are we on? I mean, I have to say I've lost track now, but it's at least 18 U-turns from Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer. And look, I confidently predict to you this evening that at least one more is on the way. And that is that motorists, you in this hall tonight, who actually need your car to get to work, to take your kids to school, to go about your business here in rural Norfolk, you are being hammered at the pump right now. And what is Rachel Reeves doing? Absolutely nothing. And the backlash is growing. I can sense that this will not hold. Well, Reform UK is going to force Rachel Reeves into an emergency VAT cut on petrol and diesel at the pumps. You mark my words. She might think, these people who live in North London and never drive anywhere, they might think that you don't need a car, but you do. And we are going to force her to change tack. Now, I really am glad to be here with you tonight, because I know that you in Norfolk, you're fed up. You're fed up with men, not from these parts, who are living in luxury accommodation. They're getting 3 meals a day, paid at taxpayers' expense. But enough about Prince Andrew. I wondered if that would be good for you, but I knew you had some people told me not to say that, but I knew you had a sense of humor in Norfolk. But look, right now things are tough. Keir Starmer promised change, and many people here in Norfolk voted for it, and they got some Labour MPs. And I suppose in his own way, he's delivered it. Unemployment has gone up. Energy bills have gone up. Taxes have gone up. Don't worry, though. Don't worry about fuel prices going through the roof or the queues at the forecourt. Why not? Well, Rachel Reeves is boasting that today she's convened another meeting. It's all she does. Meetings, summits. You can imagine the scene, can't you, at the Treasury. Chancellor, diesel just hit 180p a litre. It's £2 a litre at the service stations. Our refineries are closing. We've got 2 days gas storage left. Energy bills are surging. Shall we drill in the North Sea, Chancellor? No, let's hold another summit. She's had more summits than there are in the Himalayas. Well, I can tell you this, a reform government with Nigel as your Prime Minister and me as your Chancellor, we will do things differently. We'll cut your bills. How? Well, with common sense. Do you know we've paid the Norwegians £100 billion for gas since 2021? And where's all that gas been drilled, you ask? In the North Sea. And that would be the same North Sea that Ed Miliband has banned us from drilling in. So we have a bold new idea. Drill, drill, drill in our side of the North Sea. And I tell you what, we'll store some of that gas by bringing back Bacton. You might remember that. The last Conservative government decided it would be a sensible thing that our country, the United Kingdom, had 2 days storage of gas. And I tell you one more thing. We'll use the money, the tax revenues that we'll get from drilling in the North Sea to cut your bills. We'll scrap the VAT on your gas and electricity and the green levies and taxes that Ed Miliband has loaded onto them by stealth. That would save £200 from every family in this hall tonight. We'd cut fuel duty too. We'd start by scrapping Reeves's mad plan to put duty up by 6p in the midst of an oil crisis. And if we were in charge, we would take another 12p off by halving VAT during the Iran war, because we in Reform know that this war has nothing to do with farmers in Fakenham, drivers in Diss, carers in Cromer, and it's not right, ladies and gentlemen, that you pay higher bills because of it. Ed Miliband might not like his plan. We don't like his plan. We don't care what Ed Miliband has to say, because at the end of the day, the UK is less than 1% of the world's emissions. Making us all poorer ladies and gentlemen, making us all poorer isn't going to make the blindest bit of difference to the climate. So if we win the next election, we're going to do things differently. You may have seen Nigel sending me up a ladder the other day when we cut petrol prices at a forecourt in Derbyshire for 1 day. Well, let me tell you this. If there is a Reform government, it won't just be one petrol station in Derbyshire where the prices are cheaper. It will be every single petrol station in this country. And we won't stop there. We'll cut your taxes, because all the small business owners in this hall know taxes are far too high in this country at the moment. How will we cut them? It's not rocket science. We'll cut your taxes and we will save tens of billions that the government is wasting every year on migrant hotels, like the Brook Hotel in Bowthorpe. We'll cut foreign aid to rich countries, countries almost as rich as ourselves. We'll stop the boats. We'll stop welfare for migrants. We'll stop people who are just swinging the lead. We'll end the madness once and for all. We'll cut the waste and we'll cut your taxes. We'll get businesses here in Norfolk. We'll get them and across our whole country growing again, hiring again, thriving again. Everyone in this party, from Nigel down, has the energy, the conviction, the passion to turn our great country around. And people across Britain sense it. That's why something truly historic is happening right now. It's a quiet revolution that's underway. People are speaking up in the pubs, in the offices, on the building sites, in their front rooms, even in their bedrooms. In the north, in the south, in Scotland, in Wales, people have had enough and they want their country back. And boy, are they going to get it with reform. Nigel Farage has backed the change we need for decades. And that change is now within our grasp. So if you want to stop the boats, vote reform. End mass migration, vote reform. Cut taxes, vote reform. Get an NHS that actually works, vote reform. Have a government that will protect our culture, not shred it. Who will respect our history, not trash it, vote reform. That will police our streets, not your tweets, vote reform. Who will tackle Islamism, vote reform. So thank you for coming tonight. Thank you, Norfolk. It's time to turn this country around. Britain is broken, but it can be fixed. Britain needs reform. Vote for it. Vote reform on May the 7th and play your part. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us nicely to our final speaker. Who could that possibly be, I wonder? Well, he's a man not afraid of a political fight. He took on NatWest and he won. He then took on YouGov and he won. And ladies and gentlemen, at the next election, he will take on the establishment and he will win, because soon he will make history when he becomes the next British Prime Minister.
We are all ships rising on a turquoise tide, headed towards winning the next general election. This government is deep in crisis. They are not fit to govern. The Conservative Party are riven. There is a new, strong, unified party, the party that stands up for decent working people, and we are the party on the rise. The energy has been unbelievable. The enthusiasm has been extraordinary. You are the people's army.
Reform is now in government. And the big shout-out message, and it's very, very clear, is if you vote reform, you get reform. And when it comes to country, of what a nation is, this is where I do personally want to confront the Prime Minister head on.
No one cares more about the state of this country than I do.
There is nobody more determined than me.
But I tell you what, folks, That was just the beginning. Thank you very much indeed.
Please welcome the leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage, MP.
Good evening, Norfolk! Well, that's off to a good start. On May the 7th, all of you in this county, and indeed some inside of Norwich itself, will have the opportunity to go to the ballot box, as you should, as council taxpayers who've seen your council taxes rise by the maximum year on year on year. You deserve the opportunity, do you not, to vote for who's in charge. No taxation without representation. And yet, last year, after the Conservatives had served their 4-year term, your elections were cancelled. Cancelled under the guise of local government reorganisation. The Labour government and the Conservative Party working in concert to deny you your right to vote. And I thought that was absolutely monstrous. But we were assured in the House of Commons by none other than Angela Rayner, stop it. We were assured by Angela Rayner, don't worry, it's only a 1-year delay. And what happened this year? This year the Labour government said to local councils, if you want to delay the elections, you can. And for the 2nd year in a row, the Conservative leadership of Norfolk County Council opted to deny you the vote again. The weasels. And I thought, this isn't good enough. This just isn't good enough. We're not going to have this. The right to vote, the right to choose, the right to hire and fire those that govern you, that spend your taxes and that make decisions on your behalf. Our right to make those decisions is something, frankly, we fought 2 world wars for, and I'll be damned if I am not going to fight. And so we took our case for judicial review and we won our case to go to the High Court to take on the political establishment. Now, I've got to tell you, I was quite looking forward to a day in the High Court. I quite fancied my chances, really. But they collapsed within 48 hours. They said all the elections will go ahead. The only reason you in Norfolk have the vote on May the 7th is because we in Reform UK stood up and fought for your rights.
and just have a look. Have a look at our current political leadership. Have a look at our Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. Already the most unpopular Prime Minister in living memory. A man who clearly believes in absolutely nothing other than what is on the piece of paper that he's given. And I couldn't believe it. On July the 5th, 2024, he'd known for a year he was going to win the general election. And he went out into Downing Street at 11 o'clock in the morning to give his victory speech, which lasted for 9 minutes. And he walked out with a sheet of paper, puts it there, you see, and says, "We've won a great victory." We've beaten the Conservatives. And on he goes. Like a pigeon in Trafalgar Square. The man in 9 minutes, he looked at his notes 158 times. That tells you all about him. I may not be perfect, but I'll speak to you tonight for 30 minutes without looking at a single note, because I know what I believe in, and I've had enough of this country going down the drain. And he has proved to be the most unpatriotic Prime Minister in the history of our nation, prepared to sell out to the European Union, to sell out to anything the UN want us to do. Not only to give away the Chagos Islands, but to pay for the privilege of doing it. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up, could you? He is a complete disaster. And if there is one big incentive on May the 7th to vote for us, given that we are the only party now that is credible to beat them at the next general election, vote Reform on May the 7th to get rid of Starmer. Not that the Conservatives in office were any better. Now look, the Americans and the Israelis decided they would go into a big attack on Iran. Whether that was the wise thing to do or not, time will tell. My own view is that if it stops the Iranians getting a nuclear weapon, it will have been worth it. But our relationship with America is vital. Without America, we are utterly defenseless in every single way. And the decision to deny them the use of Diego Garcia and RAF Fairford, and then, despite the fact we denied them, the Iranians still fired missiles at an RAF base in Cyprus, and then we change our minds and say, yes, you can use our bases. We've damaged our relationship with America, whether we agree with their actions or not. And that is dangerous, because when I say we are defenseless, and whoever would have thought anybody would have stood up in the county that produced Horatio Nelson and say that it took us 3 weeks and 1 day to send a single Royal Naval vessel to Cyprus to defend British sovereign territory. Our armed forces hollowed out by 14 years of Conservative government, and our armed forces showing no prospect under this Prime Minister of getting any more support. In fact, there are currently 242 former soldiers who've served in our special forces who are facing prosecution for what they did, acting under orders in the name of the Queen. And this Prime Minister has aided and assisted those barristers who wish to bring down the reputation of Britain's armed forces. And I say, not only must we rearm, not only must we do our bit to be respected and perhaps slightly feared on the world stage, but we must stand up and support military veterans who've done what they've done for our country. But the collective stupidity of Westminster never fails to amaze me. Net zero. Oh yes, no. These wind turbines are going to save the world. You're going to have the extraordinary situation where now we're contemplating whether there could be energy shortages in our country. The Conservatives put a 75% super tax on profits in the North Sea on oil and gas. That has killed tens of billions of pounds worth of investment in the North Sea. The Conservatives banned the production of onshore gas in our country. The Conservatives wrote net zero into law without even a proper debate in Parliament on the subject, because everyone agrees, don't they? Everyone agrees that if we decide to commit economic harry-carry, that somehow everybody else will follow us. Well, you know something? On the other side of the North Sea, Norway are rather more grown up than the rest of us. And even if there are new technologies that can produce power, we're going to be using oil and gas for the next 30 years at least. Last year, the Norwegians started 49 new drill sites in the North Sea in exactly the same fields that extend into our territorial waters. Have a guess how many drill sites we launched last year? None. A big round none. And our message, given that there are now 10 billion barrels, think about that, 10 billion barrels of untapped oil and gas in the North Sea and onshore, we should not be reliant on energy coming into Britain from all over the world. We should be self-sufficient, we should be an energy exporter, and we will, in Reform UK, start to produce our own oil and gas in Britain as a beginning to lower prices for everybody. We've deindustrialized Britain. We have the highest energy prices in the world, 4 times greater than America, 8 times greater than China, and double the price of France. We've lost refining, we've lost steel, we've lost chemicals, we've lost cement making, we've lost brick making. Industry after industry has closed down in Britain, moved off to India or elsewhere, and guess what we do? We import the goods back into Britain. We will pursue a policy of re-industrializing our country, producing what we need here. We must have energy security, but also, folks, we must have more food security than we currently have. And the attack, the assault on rural Britain and our farming community has now reached a level that frankly is depressing and upsetting. One of the reasons that people love our countryside all over the world is because of the families, both large and small, who've shepherded and husbanded these landscapes for centuries. The Labour Party's vicious attack on the family farming community with the farms tax is something we will reverse in
its entirety. They even want to ban trail hunting. You might as well make horse riding illegal, dog walking illegal. These are attacks on traditional parts of our country, and I'm a country boy at heart, and I promise you I will stand up for those communities because it is very, very deep within me. Very deep within me. But the biggest and most fundamental mistake that has been made in our country is the attempt to close down any debate about immigration and culture. And just think about this. By the way, I know this because I've been abused for 25 years for daring to even raise the subject. But think about this. From Windrush in the late 40s, through the 50s, through the 60s, through the 70s, through the 80s, through the 90s, until Blair came to power, net migration into Britain averaged 30,000 people a year. All right? Think about that. 30,000 people a year, net migration for over half a century. And what happened? Tony Blair opened the doors to uncontrolled numbers of people. And suddenly net migration was 250,000 a year, 1/3 a year. And what we began to see were parts of our cities effectively becoming ghettoized and unrecognizable as being British in any single way. But if that wasn't bad enough, then the Conservatives took power. And Boris Johnson, on the back of a Brexit vote and a country that had left the European Union, opened the doors to a further 3.8 million people, of whom only 20% had work permits. Many of the rest, most of the rest, are going to cost us untold tens of billions in years to come. But the money isn't the worst of it. The worst of it is we now have communities in which religious extremism is allowed to flourish, and yet anyone that dares speak against it fears a knock at the door from the local police force. We're living in two-tier Britain, with two-tier policing and two-tier justice, and a government now that will bend to the extremist will of an Islamist community who are determined not to adapt as visitors to our way of life, but for us to adapt and change to their way of life. And if the Labour Party want to go down that route, and if the Conservative Party have not had the courage in government to do anything about it, other than add to it with countless millions, let me tell you, we will stand up for the Judeo-Christian culture that has made this country what it is. I came back into politics 20 months ago. I spent a quarter of a century fighting to get us out of the European Union, to be free to make our own decisions. And how interesting what Robert Jenrick has said today about air taxes, of course, was something we couldn't change as members of that union. And I thought my work was done. 31st of January 2020, Parliament Square, 100,000 people, big party afterwards. Might have had a couple of drinks that evening, I can't quite remember. And my work was done. And I was off doing other things, in particular working hard for GB News, a job that I loved, absolutely loved. But I've come back into politics because I fear
I fear that we are not many years away from our collapse in society, from being so great that frankly it will become irrecoverable. And yet I know that out there is still a solid, silent majority that wants to stand up for the values of this party, of family, community and country. And what we have to do is to mobilise and unite that silent majority behind us. May the 7th is the biggest single electoral test that we'll face between now and the next general election. If we win here in Norfolk and elsewhere on May the 7th, we'll be on our way to winning the next general election, and I know it won't be easy. The challenges that we face are so many and so varied, and in some cases so entrenched. But what we offer people is one 4-letter word. Not that one. Anyone guess what that word is? Hope, hope, hope that we can stand up for the right fundamental values and turn Britain around. And so back out of retirement, I am striving every sinew. I'm visiting the country week after week, day after day, speaking to crowds like you, of ordinary folk that have given up your evening to come and hear what we have to say. Now in Norfolk, and indeed in Suffolk last week, I seem to be quite a boon for the local media. I think I'll help sales of the Eastern Daily Press somehow. I think regional news might get a few more viewers than normal. And look, I can't promise you that if we win Norfolk County Council, that we can somehow wave a magic wand and make the debt and the problems all go away. But what I can tell you is that when one party has been in power for too long, it leads to complacency and it leads to bad decisions. And frankly, I do think in Norfolk there has been maladministration. They don't want to hear it, but we'll stand on our record of the 10 English county councils that we won last year with overall outright majorities, where we've managed already to cut £300 million of excessive expenditure. And by the way, if you're in Norwich, working for the county council, and you're in the DEI department, you better start looking for a job. But what I can proudly say is that our council tax rises in our 10 councils are lower than the counties run by the other party. What I can promise you in Norfolk, if we win, we will keep your council tax as low as we possibly can as council taxpayers. Tonight at midnight, I'll deal with the French to stop the boats expires. Now, Starmer is better at stopping boats than you think. He stopped me going to the Chagos Islands, and he stopped the Royal Navy getting to Cyprus for over 3 weeks. But when it comes to the Channel, we have given the French, over the last decade, £800 million to stop the boats. That money has been completely and utterly wasted, yet from midnight they want another £365 million. This Prime Minister was elected saying he would smash the gangs. No, Boris said stop the boats, Rishi said stop the boats, But no, I'm going to smash the gangs. He's so inspiring, isn't he? And under him, 70,000 people have come to the United Kingdom. Tomorrow's a flat, calm day. Tomorrow the number will go through 200,000 that have crossed in the last few years. I was out there in 2020, going out filming this, asking why mainstream media were not covering it, predicted there'd be an invasion because there might as well be a sign on the White Cliffs of Dover saying everyone welcome. And look at it. Hotels being filled all over the country at massive expense. Houses of multiple occupancy being dumped in streets. And so many of these young men who throw away their passports and their iPhones into the English Channel when they reach the 12-mile line, and I filmed it. So many of them come from cultures in which women are not even regarded as second-class citizens. Not a day goes by now where you don't read about some horrendous rape or sexual assault that has happened. And that is all the responsibility of Conservative and Labour governments who've made our streets less safe, who've added massively to our welfare bills. But I also believe that it's a threat to national security. People coming in from Afghanistan, from Iran and elsewhere. We're building up people that will pose a terrorist threat to us and this country in the years to come. Starmer will do nothing, and he has no plan. And I stood up at Prime Minister's questions last week and I said, given that Smash the Gangs is a failure, and knowing, of course, this deadline was approaching, I asked him what was his plan B. And true to form, he didn't even attempt to give an answer. He just read off a script about council taxes in Worcestershire. He ignored this issue that is so fundamental in terms of fairness, decency, security in our country, that I got up and I walked out in protest of the House of Commons. We will only deal with this question if we're prepared to stand up and accept that the order that was put in place nearly 80 years ago is now not fit for purpose. We will clear the barrier to detention and deportation, as the Australians did back in 2012. We'll stop the boats coming within weeks, and we'll do it by leaving the European Convention on Human Rights and getting back control of our borders. So I return to the question of the silent majority. And I suspect many of you in this room are part of that silent majority. You might have talked to your friends, to your family, about how you feel. You may even have been too shy to do it for fear of people coming back and being unpleasant. But here in Norfolk, there are men and women that have decided they will stand up. They will be candidates for us in these elections. And before you vote for them, or before I ask you to vote for them, I want you to have a look at them. So please, candidates, come and join me on stage now. Now, as they make their way up onto the stage for our little finale, and you'd expect some pyrotechnics from us, wouldn't you? I mean, come on. But I want to say this to you in the audience. Most of these men and women have never stood for elected office before in their lives. Most of these men and women have previously never even been members of any political party. But they've reached this moment in their lives where they realise the desperate trouble that our country is in. Come on, chop chop. They realise the desperate trouble our country is in. And they're prepared to stand up, to put their heads up over the parapet, to take whatever online abuse they're going to get on social media. And I'm not asking all of you in the audience to make that same level of sacrifice. But what I am asking you in the audience is to please think about what I've said tonight. Think about what everybody else has said to you this evening. And I bet many of you came along, file down. I bet many of you came along as what I would describe as reform curious. Would that be fair? You've come along, you're not quite sure whether this political movement, whether this political party is for you. But if you have become convinced that Britain is broken as we believe it is, if you have become convinced that this country needs change, and it needs radical change, and it needs it very, very quickly indeed, otherwise everything that those that built before us have defended and cherished will be ruined. If you've come to that conclusion, then I want to ask you whether you're prepared to do your bit. Are you as an audience prepared to do something to help us win these elections when it comes? Good. And you can do it. You can do it in so many ways. You can join our party. You can give us money. You can talk to your friends and family. You can join local branches. You can leaflet, you can canvass, but please, above all, wherever you go, whatever you do, spread this message that real radical political change is coming to our country. It's coming soon. It's not before time. Thank you for coming along this evening. You've been a great audience. Here's to May the 7th.